Revere, and welcome to our Revere Veterans and Community Show. Today we have a special lady. She's a resident of Revere, and her name is RoseLee Vincent. RoseLee, thank you for coming here.
Thank you for having me, Morris. I appreciate it.
First, I want to congratulate you on your win in the Democratic primary. Can you briefly tell us a little bit about your background for viewers who may not be familiar with you, about you, your family, your little youth?
Sure. Well, first I want to thank the voters of Revere for my overwhelming victory. It was an amazing journey from start to finish. 25 years ago, I would never have thought that I would be sitting here as the Democratic candidate. So I'm very humbled by the vote of confidence that was given to me by the city of Revere and the cities of Chelsea and Saugus as well. So I want to thank the voters for putting their vote of confidence in me. My background, I'm a third-generation Revere person. My grandparents came to this country in the early 1920s, and my family, we're still here. We're not going anywhere. We are part of the fabric of the city of Revere. We're part of the community.
Almost 100 years, RoseLee.
It's almost 100 years, yes. And my children were fourth generation to be raised in the city of Revere, to go to the Revere school system. And I'm very, very proud of the fact that Revere is my home. And I'm extremely proud, and I hope come April 1st, I will be serving the 16th Suffolk District and the city of Revere as the next state representative.
Right. I understand about your mother and father. Your father, I believe, was a veteran?
Yes. Actually, my grandfather was in World War I. And my father was in World War II, and my mother was a Rosie the Riveter type. She worked in the Navy Yard to support our troops. So we have a history of veterans, and veterans they're the lifeblood of our
They're the ones
country.
that keep us here free, RoseLee.
They certainly are, Morris, and no one knows that better than you. You epitomize veterans, and you work very hard along with Nick Bua.
Yep, he's our commissioner here.
Yes, and Linda Shaw. I know we have many dealings. I've dealt many times with all of you regarding veterans issues up at the State House. So
right.
Keep up the good work. It's important that we hear from you. I know Linda, we've been working with Linda Shaw.
We had her here, you know. She was up here, Linda.
Was she?
From the housing. And
right.
she does a tremendous stuff for the veterans.
Right.
I think she's looking for some $400,000 to get the veterans to work, jobs and things.
Right. Well, and Linda's also been very proactive in veterans housing. I know that when my father-in-law and when my father came back from the war, they were afforded beautiful homes in Revere, and they were called veterans projects. And sadly, we no longer have that for our veterans. Our veterans are coming home now, and a lot of them are in despair. They're homeless. They just don't have the resources. I would love to see our veterans projects become veterans projects again. And I know that Linda Shaw and I know Nick Bua have been advocating for that, and certainly when I'm elected, I will certainly work and try to help with that as well.
Right, RoseLee, thank you for answering that question. So we're going to get back to the veterans later,
sure.
but I want to ask you, as we go down the list, these are the same questions I asked Mr. Todd Taylor, so I'm going to throw them right at you.
Sure.
Just before the primary, okay, we'll go this way. Just before the primary vote, Revere also said yes to the Mohegan Sun Casino at Suffolk Downs. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about the casino, and what it would mean for our community, and it would also be your community because you live in Revere?
I was ecstatic when the vote came in and it was yes. I can't think of a better project for the city of Revere. The mayor, John Fester, with our economic development, they have worked so hard to get a project that can not only bring in tax revenue, but can also enhance our city with infrastructure, jobs. We talk about jobs all the time. As you know, you were instrumental in that as well. 2,500 construction jobs upon when the shovel hits the ground. Once it's completion, we have over 4,000 permanent jobs coming into our city. The Mohegan Sun is a perfect fit for Revere. I can't imagine a more perfect fit. We've had gaming in the city of Revere since the 30s. It's not a foreign object to us. It's something that I grew up with it. I think it's going to be I think Mohegan Sun and that development will be the catalyst for future development along not only the beach, but along the entire region. And those jobs that we're talking about, those 4,000 jobs, those expand 15-mile radius. So not just the city of Revere, but the city of Chelsea, Saugus, Lynn, they're all going to benefit.
So in other words, every city like Chelsea,
absolutely,
Saugus,
absolutely,
Winthrop,
absolutely.
And if we get the casino, even Everett would benefit from it.
I would imagine every single surrounding community will benefit from this. We have the perfect location. Our location is what, 56 acres?
Yep.
Far larger than the other casinos' proposal.
Right, and also our land is not contaminated, if I can use that word.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, not only would that contamination, who wants to build on top of it, but while they're cleaning it up, that's going to be another environmental disaster. So we have the perfect site. I'm excited. I think we're going to save 800 jobs at Suffolk Downs.
Right. But most of all, we're going to save the racetrack.
And the racetrack, absolutely.
Right, because where would those poor animals really go when you think of it if the racetrack closed down?
Right. It's an institution. I mean, it's a sport of kings. Our racetrack should stay. We should complement it with this wonderful facility, and I think it's going to be an absolute asset to the city and to the entire region, and
right.
I'm very excited about it.
This is another question, if I may ask you, RoseLee.
Sure.
And I also asked Todd, your opponent, the same ones too.
Okay.
One of the first things the new state representative will have to work on is the budget. What are your budget priorities, and how do you plan to accomplish them?
Well, you know, it's really funny that you ask that, because the budget, to me, and to any legislator, is the single most important piece of legislation that gets passed in the House every year. That is that legislation that affords local aid, Chapter 90 money, Chapter 70s money. That piece of legislation is paramount to the success and to our cities and towns. Fortunately for me, once I made it into the primary and I became the Democratic nominee, I became proactive. I didn't wait until the April 1st election, because time is of the essence when you're doing the budget. They're actually doing it now. I met with the Speaker. I met with the Chairman of Ways and Means, Brian Dempsey, and I met with the Mayor. I already know the Mayor's budget priorities. I've already talked with the Speaker and the Chair of Ways and Means what they are. So when April 1st comes and I get elected, I'm going to hit the ground running. I am ready, willing, and able to make sure that the city of Revere, as does Chelsea and Saugus, get what they need and what we've been giving them for the last, as a matter of fact, local aid was increased. We got more Chapter 70 money here. Right. So, and then, you know, and I know also what it takes. Once the budget is set, then we put amendments for the budget. I already know, and I'm already writing amendments, so that we're going to get in there. Day one, we're going to be all set. City of Revere is going to be very well served from the moment I get elected.
And that would also mean your other cities that you represent, like Chelsea.
Absolutely.
And
well, we're talking, because it's Revere TV, I'm only referring to Revere.
Revere, right.
But anything that I am going to be doing for Revere, I will be doing for Saugus. I've already have Scott Crabtree. I've already met with Donald Wong. you know, I've already spoken with Jay Ash. I'm just talking strictly Revere because...
Right. I want to make sure that people know
Oh,
that.
they absolutely. I'm doing the same thing for my other communities as well. And the speaker and the chair of Ways and Means are very receptive to me and to my requests.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Thank you, RoseLee.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
First of all, I want to thank you for coming up to our senior center, by the way.
You're very welcome.
The seniors love you, the city of Revere loves you, and we all love you.
Well, thank you, Morris. I love my seniors. I have to be honest, and that is one thing that I will be concentrating on when I'm elected. I really want to focus in on our senior citizens.
Right, and let me tell you, what you talked about the casino before, if I can quote Mayor Dan Rizzo, he said if the money comes in and we do get the casino, we would get either a very good refurbished casino, or we would get, casino, a senior center,
yes.
or a brand new one.
Absolutely, and that's marvelous. Already, the mayor and John Vesta they've already been doing yeoman work. Steve Fielding over at the senior center,
yeah,
I don't know if you're aware, but we are working, he put in a grant for a bus.
Right.
With 80% state reimbursement. And that's fabulous. And I plan on making sure that Revere senior citizens get that bus. Let me tell you, that will be another one of my priorities. I have the beauty of...
That would be good because, RoseLee, we could travel from the Revere
can.
Senior Center right to Suffolk Downs.
You can, absolutely,
Yes,
Morris. Absolutely.
Yeah, because the bus we got now takes us longer to get from Revere Senior Center to Suffolk Downs than it does with a new bus to get to Mohegan in Connecticut.
You're probably right. You're probably right. You know, absolutely.
Right. I got another good question for you, RoseLee.
All right, let's hear it, Morris. I hope I can answer it.
Well, we'll try.
Okay.
There has been some great development that has taken in Revere recently. Can you talk a little about your future? Well, you mentioned some of it, but maybe you left some of it out. You could expand on it, about your future plans for the city to keep Revere moving forward.
Sure. Infrastructure and transportation are really priorities of the mayor as well. And you can see how transportation has impacted already, especially down in the beach area. We have that wonderful facility, the Wonderland Garage, that state-of-the-art, wonderful facility. We have that beautiful pedestrian bridge. We have the Waterfront Square that's already broken ground. Those are all things that were either...
Harry Delarusso Stadium?
Well, that's another whole, we'll go back to that, but right now on the beach, these are all beach related. Those were all part of the stimulus program, the economic stimulus program, and they got money to be in transit oriented transit development, and that was a tongue twister.
I know.
And we were able to get monies for that, and it's amazing what can be done. I plan to pursue making sure that we get money in the transportation bond bill so that we can continue that. There are a lot of things to keep Revere moving forward. Mayor Rizzo, with the schools, we're going to get the new stadium as part of the new Hill School that's going to be
That's what I was going to ask you about, the new schools coming in here.
Yes. Well, we've been instrumental in the past 4 brand new schools, and this will be number 5, and it's wonderful, working with the School Building Authority and Steve Grossman to get this completed. It's wonderful for the city. We need schools. Our children need good education, and they get it here in the city of Revere, that's for sure.
And one thing I would like to mention, we do have the #1 superintendent in the country right here in our city of Revere.
We not only have the #1 superintendent, we have the #1 school committee woman, Carol Ty.
You're right.
We have the #1 mayor. We have Dan Rizzo. We have the #1 Speaker of the House. Revere is very fortunate to have fabulous people that we all work very well together, Morris. And right now in our city's history, I think it's so important that the next legislator be able to work with not only the mayor, not only the speaker, but with the congressman, and I bring that to the table. I think I'm the person that can do that and can do it well. I've been doing it, and I'm comfortable doing it, and I've been endorsed by, as you know, by the mayor. I just got endorsed by the Speaker of the House. So I'm in pretty good shape, and I think we'll be able to work very well together. So
Right.
we're good.
And I want to mention to you about the #1 woman veteran at the city of
Eileen Marula.
Could you tell us a little about her?
Absolutely. I first met Eileen Marula when my dad had to be put into a nursing home for rehab when he had a brain tumor. And I met Eileen through that venue, and I got to be friendly with Eileen, and she is probably one of the most amazing women. For her to start and almost demand that we get a monument dedicated to women veterans was exciting. And she came to me, and she came to Representative Reinstein, and we helped a little, but she did the work. I mean, she worked and she achieved that. When you think of what she did, and like with yourself, with the flags, with all that you do, it's amazing. But Eileen is wonderful. And you know her son is a very famous author as well.
Right.
Roland.
Yep.
Roland Marula is also a very, very famous author. And all these people are entwined in the city of Revere. That's what makes us so special.
Right, and I would like to speak on behalf of you about Saugus and Chelsea for the people who don't know about Eileen Marula.
Yes.
She's a World War II veteran. Worked at the Walter Reed Hospital taking care of amputees. And she's not a young lady. She's, I believe, 91 or 92. So.
You'd never know it. You better not tell Eileen that. Eileen, don't say anything.
She loves to do it because, you know, for a person that young to go out and do what she did. She collected 152 names, by the way.
I know.
Wore out a pair of shoes.
She's amazing.
Yep.
She is amazing. And I was very honored to be at her ceremony when she got awarded Veteran of the Year at the State House.
Oh. And who gave her the award, if I may ask there?
It was given by the veterans groups.
Oh.
And it was well-deserved. It was exciting. I was so proud to sit there and watch her win this award because she's an amazing woman and a good friend, and I'm very proud to have friends like that.
Right. Thank you for honoring us,
yes.
RoseLee. Now I got another question for you. What do you view as the most important problem facing the district, which includes you, Saugus, Chelsea, and Revere, as a whole?
Okay, I'm going to keep it to Revere simply because we're on Revere TV, and I want to concentrate on Revere.
Yep.
I think jobs are the single most important problem right now. I think jobs, and getting back to Mohegan Sun, I think we have the solution. Once we start getting jobs, once people can actually support their families and put a paycheck, you know, buy groceries. I mean, we need jobs. I think that's one of the single most important things that our city faces. And we need industry. We need to bring industry, and we need to bring business into our city. We need to, we can't keep relying on property tax to pay our bills. We need different resources.
Right, and talking about Revere, there's supposed to be a market basket that was supposed to open up.
I know. What happened with that?
I know that. And the people are looking forward to it.
So am I. I can't, and I'm one of them, Morris. Do you have any idea why they're not opening?
I have no idea, but I'm not going shopping until they do open.
Someone was saying that it's a family issue.
Conflict over there?
Some kind of a family conflict.
Yep.
It's so sad to see this beautiful facility and it's empty. I keep hoping.
Is it all ready to go, though?
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, it's ready to go. It's just, I've heard it was going to be Hannaford's, and then I heard all different names. So I'm not sure. I just hope it's Market Basket because I think that would be great. They have great prices. We can shop till we drop, Morris. What do you think?
Definitely. By the way, this is a sad thing. You mentioned jobs, but someone told me to ask you this question.
Okay.
Massachusetts' unemployment rate is now above the national average for the first time in many years. How would you address job growth? I know you mentioned about the casino coming in, but beside the casino, how would you mention if we could get? I know we need businesses coming in, RoseLee.
Well, without businesses, you don't have jobs. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Right.
So, bringing jobs into our district, even forget the casino. There are other ways of bringing jobs in. We can't just rely on the casino for all of our jobs. But I think I've been talking with the mayor and with John Fester, and I know that they are trying to get businesses. That's what the economic development team is doing for the city of Revere, and I'm confident that they will be bringing businesses into the city. I think the casino is going to be a catalyst, and I think once that gets going, from what I'm hearing, businesses are lined up to come into the city. I think we are going to be at the we're reaching such a potential. I think we're going to see great things for the city of Revere. I really do.
And I have to agree with you because I had Mr. Peter Schultz on. I don't know if you know him.
I do.
He's from
Mohegan Sun. Yes, he actually called me to congratulate me when I won the nomination.
Right.
And I was very excited to hear from him. So yes.
Well, I met with Mr. Schultz. I also had him on the show, but he made one mention where you talk about businesses. I would just like to interject that he was talking about the Mohegan Casino coming into Revere with the point system, and he said he had 172 businesses locals already signed up for the point system.
Yes.
So, Mr. Schultz, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Before we finish up, I got a couple of questions, so this will be one of the last ones,
Sure.
or next to the last. What do you see as your most relevant experience, that's you, RoseLee, for holding this office?
Oh, well, that's probably the easiest question that you threw at me, Morris. Are you trying to be kind?
No, that's the same question I asked your opponent, so I've got to be honest and fair. I got to ask you.
Okay, well, I have 25 years working in this very job that I'm running for.
That's quite a
quarter
of a century,
right? A quarter of a century I've been actually doing this job. Granted, I've been in the background. I've been doing I like to call it the background work, the busy beaver work, not the queen bee work. So I've been very busy. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from both representatives, both Representative Reinstein, the father, as well as the daughter. The thing I learned most from Bill Reinstein is politics is people. And you have to remember that no matter what else you think is important, the most important part of politics are the people. And you have to hear them. You have to feel them. You have to, when I would get calls from people who were desperate, when I would get calls from people who were needy, when I would get calls from people just with a silly question, the most important thing is letting them know you care and getting back to them. Even, there are times when you can't fix everyone's problems, sadly. You want to, but you can't. But people know when you care. They know when you try. They know when it's important to them, and you make it important to you. So,
right. RoseLee, I met you down at Squire Road at the donut shop. What's the name of that donut shop?
Honeydew.
Honeydew.
Yes.
Do you still do that today?
Yes.
And if people want to come down?
Yes.
Please tell them how they can contact you.
Yes. Well, once I become state representative, April 1st, with everyone's vote, what we do is we have office hours for people who can't come into Boston.
Right.
There are a lot of people who either don't feel comfortable talking on the phone, or they don't want to come into Boston. So we hold district hours in Honeydew Donuts. In Saugus, we hold them at Cane's Donuts. And in Chelsea, we were holding them at Dunkin' Donuts, but then we moved it to the senior center. But I think we're going to move it back, because what happens is, even though it was great at the senior center for a while, it became only senior citizen issues, and I think we needed to broaden it. So it could become community issues. Right, more than just one stereotype. What I plan to do with my seniors, though, I plan on coming in once a month anyway, and just coming into the centers and finding out what's going on. And I want to meet with them. I want to hear them. I want to hear what they have to say, and I want to see what we can do to alleviate some of the issues that are facing our seniors today. And that's going to be an important role.
You know what the seniors worry most about? I'll be honest with you.
What is it?
They hear about is the cutting of the Social Security.
Well, that's federal. However, I think our seniors at this particular, I think these particular seniors will be fine.
You mean our age group?
Yes, yes. I worry, even my age group, I think the people that we need to be worrying about would be our children.
Right.
And those are the people that, and we need to start worrying about that today. We do. We have to start worrying about that today. But I think today our seniors are okay. I think we're going to be safe with that.
Right, RoseLee, I want to tell you, like I said to your opponent, it was an honor to have you come up here.
It was an honor to be here, Morris.
And may God bless you and take care of you.
And may God bless you and take care of you as well.
I hope he does.
Yes.
And God bless our great city of Revere and the people, our troops, wherever they may be, and our great country, the United States of America. And RoseLee, thank you again. And like I said to Dad, I wish you both
Thank you.
good luck.
And God bless America.
Thank you.
Yes.